This clear glass cap can only mean one thing. I have here some Shelter Point. This is Ripple Rock Whiskey Batch 2, named for a famous explosion that happened in 1958. Now, the reason for this explosion was to get rid of some rock that was at the bottom of the strait between Vancouver Island and the mainland. And boats would get scraped on this rock. And so what they did was they dug tunnels underneath the ocean floor, underneath the rock, and loaded these tunnels with dynamite. And then they had a great big explosion to get rid of the rock so that the boats could travel freely and not scrape bottom. This, I guess, it doesn't say anywhere on the bottle, but I'm guessing it's a single malt to begin with, Shelter Point single malt, aged in virgin oak alligator char barrels and finished in French oak casks. I think that's right. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to open this. I haven't had any new Shelter Points in a while. I picked this up back in December of 2021. Now we're into April of 2022. So yeah, I've got some whiskeys that we're going back in time just a little bit. Oh, come on. There, we got it open. Now I can maybe get the plastic off this part. The plastic likes to stick to the cap. I think I got it now. Ah, got it. There is the little plastic thingy, and there is the cap. The cap, the glass cap with the plastic O-ring to seal it perfectly. Makes a better seal than a cork. Shelter Point. This is bottled at 46.5%, 46.5% alcohol by volume. And even though you have the influences of the alligator char virgin oak and the French oak. Now the French oak, I'm guessing, used to carry some kind of a French wine, like I don't know, it doesn't say Sauternes. Ah, look, we have tiny little trails of tiny little drops. Let's see what happens. It's probably going to go sheeting action and leave tiny little drops after I do this. For some reason I haven't got the legs thing down. I think I washed these glasses much too well for anything to really stick to the sides. But yes, there are trails of tiny little droplets going down. I'm getting that characteristic Shelter Point Tootsie Roll chocolate thing going on here. But it's covered over by all of the influences from the alligator char, white oak, virgin oak barrels, and a little something from the French oak. But I don't know what was in the French oak before the Shelter Point was put in there. I remember last year's edition of Ripple Rock, and that was the first batch. And that disappeared really fast because I enjoyed it a lot. And my one regret about that first batch is that I did not get a backup bottle. Now this time I got this one and I got a backup bottle so that when this one's finished, I'm not all out. It's good stuff. Shelter Point is one awesome distillery. And I hope they come up with some new releases soon. Because after this one, there's one more release that I have. That's the Prohibition, which I tried with Leon Webb at the distillery. He had 2 casks, and these 2 casks he was going to marry them together to produce the Prohibition when they opened up the shop again at the distillery. And yes, early on in the year 2022, that particular whiskey, the Prohibition, was put together. And that was 10-year-old Shelter Point whiskey, which was finished in ex-Ardbeg casks. But I digress. We're on the Ripple Rock, batch number 2 this time. It smells delicious. Get that youthful, exuberant Shelter Point spirit or Shelter Point whiskey, which includes Tootsie Roll chocolate, virgin oak, and French oak. I'm gonna taste this real soon. Let me just clean my palate. There might be still some of that Hyde rum finish whiskey lurking somewhere in the corners of my mouth. Oh, this is classic Shelter Point. Beautiful stuff. Didn't taste it. Oh yeah. Rock'em sock'em explosion of flavors in this one. Oh. Not only do you get the Shelter Point single malt, but you get all of that virgin oak goodness and that je ne sais quoi from the French oak finish. Ah, this one's a masterpiece. This one is better, I think, than the batch 1 of Ripple Rock. And I got 2 whole bottles to enjoy. Wow. The second sip, there is complexity. There's a lot going on here. At first, I get the Shelter Point single malt. Then the charred barrel virgin oak comes in mid-palate. And then the finish is like a halo on top of the whole thing. The finish from the French oak casks. Ah. Oh. What a beauty this is. Ripple Rock Batch 2. I like this. Wow. This is classic Shelter Point with cask influenced cherries on top. Yum, yum, yum. Oh. This may be my favorite Shelter Point up till now. This is so well done. Yeah. It's right up there. Oh, those casks just give so much oak and wood, caramel, vanilla, and then it's a little bit spicy from the French oak casks. That would be Quercus robur rather than Quercus alba. But there is Quercus alba and Quercus robur here. There's both of those wood influences make a beautiful piece of work here. I cannot say enough good things about this. Only thing is, why did I take so long to try this? I'm always trying new things. There were so many other whiskeys that I had acquired before this one, especially that Premium Spirits release from November of 2021. And that's what was holding me back. Because I have this strange thing. I think it goes back to when I was a grocery clerk. You know, you got to rotate your stock. You put the old stuff in the front so people grab it first and the new stuff in the back. And I'm the same way about my whiskey. If I've had a whiskey for a longer time, that's the one that gets tried first. And I rotate my stock. Just like when I was a grocery clerk many, many, many years ago. There are some lessons that don't get unlearned with age. And that was one of them. Well, I'll drink to your very good health. Cheers.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Food Quig.
Yeah.